Agentic AI Procurement Summit 2026 brought together 1,500 plus leaders and the sharpest minds in the field. Aatish Dedhia, Hackett, Forrester, Omid Ghamami. 3 hours of rich, practical insights. If you missed it or you don't have the time to rewatch, we've done the hard work for you. 12 minutes. The arguments that mattered. Then you decide where to dive deeper. Let's go.
This is a special moment for our profession. For decades, we've built procurement around source to pay, process, compliance, efficiency, and that work mattered. But the conversation has changed. Today, Agentic AI is no longer a future state slide in someone's deck. It's in production. It's negotiating contracts. It's onboarding suppliers. It's running tail spend autonomously. And the question for every CPO in this room is no longer whether, it's how. And more importantly, who owns it?
Because it is different from most vendors here. Over more than 20 years, Zycus has processed trillions of dollars in real procurement spend across thousands of organizations, every continent, every category, real transactions, real suppliers, real negotiations. That history is not a credential, it is a training set. When a negotiation agent opens a conversation with the supplier, it knows what good looks like because it has seen what good looks like hundreds of thousands of times in practice. When Merlin Intake classifies a request and routes it, it is drawing on more procurement-specific signals than any platform built in the last 2 years can access. When a sourcing agent identifies savings, it is not estimating. It is pattern matching against trillions of dollars of real spend history. You cannot build that in a short time. You cannot buy it. It compounds over time in production with real data. 32 patents, Gartner Magic Quadrant Leader 2026, Forrester Wave Leader, IDC Leader for AI-enabled Source-to-Pay 2025. These are the outcomes of building with that foundation. Intake, live now. The AI control tower for every procurement request with policy enforcement, auto classification, smart routing, budget validation, and it is built in, not bolted on. Anna, as we call it, our autonomous negotiation agent, live now. A requisition comes in, Anna builds the sourcing event, identifies suppliers, invites quotes, negotiates across multiple parameters, price, lead time, service level, and closes. End to end. No human involved in every step. 2 to 8% savings on tail spend and zero headache. Play was the first organization in the world to put autonomous negotiation into production. Their feedback, stable, mature, and it delivers. Merlin Agentic Sourcing, coming next. It takes a question like, I think we are overpaying on freight, and turns it into a strategic RFP with millions of dollars in identified savings and a 92% confidence score. 5 systems, 0 manual queries. The next, the supplier onboarding agent, building now. Each one production grade, not concept, not pilot, but live.
So let's take a look at some of the practices. The first practice that we wanted to understand was just looking at KPIs, the measurements of success for enabling and embedding Agentic AI within our organizations. Only 24% of organizations in our research had defined specific KPIs for this. 19% of organizations, and only 19%, had a common governance infrastructure around the rollout and deployment of Agentic AI within their organizations. And furthermore, 23% of organizations rated their organization change management capabilities as mature. What was more important is that when we asked them about the skills and the competencies within the organization, even a smaller percentage of organizations felt that their competencies of their individuals, their teams, were ready for an enabled and embedded Agentic AI environment. The last area we wanted to understand is where are we looking to apply Agentic AI within our environments? When we did a tail spend study last year, one of the things that we understood was that procurement organizations, only 36, about a third of them, felt satisfied with their current approach to tail spend management. They highlighted that they felt there was a lot more to do in tail spend management. And when we asked them about where the ability and the opportunities to apply Agentic AI, tail spend elevated to the top of the list in terms of a lower risk, a higher volume area to apply agentic AI within their environments. A full 86% of organizations highlighted that they are likely or very likely to use agents.
And then we have really, you're looking at bolted on versus built-in AI is one of the other really important categories that we're looking at. And you're layering AI onto old workflows. If you do that, you're bolting on. That's creating superficial improvement. It's the most deceptive failure mode because it looks like progress early on. You're taking this existing workflow, you're layering AI on top, suddenly it feels more advanced. But the problem is you can't really take a very bad tasting cake and put delicious frosting on top and expect that people are gonna like it. It just doesn't work that way. The whole cake has to taste good. And that requires design from the front end. And so the issue is that AI is operating with limited context. It doesn't fully see, the data, the policies, the process logic underneath. It's reasoning from the outside. And when you do that, it works well in controlled scenarios. The pilots look good. But when you scale and introduce this real world complexity, the edge cases start to break the system.
The word accountable is very clear. I mean, you can't make a system accountable. You can't make an agent accountable. I was reading a book the other day when I was on my flight, actually. Corporate governance and legal departments, legal frameworks do not recognize AI as a legal person. So AI, the agent, they don't recognize that. So who has to be accountable? The human, the agent, because you cannot be deposed, you cannot fire, you cannot sue an agent and so on. So accountability, that's why I said the word accountable says a lot. It flows naturally to the human, who's the one who deployed this agent. Now, I usually call this as a mentality. A captain of the ship, whatever the ship is, he may not be steering the ship every single second, right? But they are absolutely accountable if something goes wrong or if something, some action has to be taken if the autopilot doesn't work or whatever. So that's the mentality that the CPO should have. So whoever is accountable, in this case CPO, he becomes accountable if the agent has hallucinated and given wrong results, as a result of which it's put for, there have been some the losses that have incurred. Accountability definitely is the CPOs. Any organization will say, let's let 1,000 flowers bloom, but that's the wrong approach. You can't pilot everywhere. The right move is to go deep in one place. So we call it the T methodology. You know your battles to choose from and then go deep into the best starting point has 3 salient characteristics. The work should be repetitive in nature, it should be data rich, and the outcome should be measurable. There are a pervasive range of use cases for agentic AI in procurement. So again, just to drive home the point, the work should be repetitive when you start, piloting, should be data rich, and outcome should be measurable.
I am going to start with Merlin Intake. That's our front door to procurement. Merlin Intake has been built on this very Merlin Agent platform using agents created with simple natural language instructions. What you see right here is the Merlin Intake landing page. Let's say I want to start chatting with Intake. I want to say I want to source catering services and I have a quote. So I've started my new conversation. The agent is now understanding what I'm asking it to do. Your procurement policy is something that Merlin Intake already has, so it knows exactly what process users should follow depending on the ask they are trying to complete. Now in this case, it's asking for the quote. So I go ahead and submit the quote that I already have. Now the intake solution will automatically extract all the relevant information from this particular quote. As you can see, it's generating a response using the document. It's extracted all the information from the quote, the supplier name, the quantity of people at the catering event, and the quoted amount. It automatically looks for an internal catalog for the item. If there's no supplier, it goes and searches for external suppliers as well. It comes back with certain recommendations if it's able to find them. In this case, it's come back with a process flow which users are expected to follow. It's saying go ahead and enroll the vendor, initiate a sourcing request, and then create the purchase request. And that's how Merlin Intake makes applying your procurement policies really simple. So how did all of this actually come into action? That's where the magic lies. Let me quickly show you the Merlin Agentic Platform. All of this has been enabled on the MAP or the Merlin Agentic Platform you see here. What you see here are different flows. The ease with which we create agents means we can have various agentic flows across the entire source-to-pay ecosystem, from sourcing all the way to procurement and invoicing. The autonomous agents you just saw, the PR selection agent, event creation, supplier recommendation, all work as a team to complete this entire autonomous sourcing process. All the instructions for this agent are provided in plain natural language, making it really easy to build and deploy them. And quickly, if I wanted to add a benchmarking agent to the sourcing process, all I need to do is create a new agent. I give it a name, a description, and all the instructions it needs, whether to look at internal data or marketplace data for benchmarking. Once I deploy this agent and add it to the flow, I now have benchmarking enabled as part of the agentic flow.
I want to say one more thing. We do not just build AI for procurement, we run on it ourselves. Our engineering team has already achieved a 4.3x increase in monthly feature delivery using AI-assisted development, testing, and release cycle. 3 times faster, same quality, actually better. Our NPS is now the best in class for B2B enterprises. We have run over 10,000 AI-assisted interviews internally. Our AI conducts candidate conversations with the highest satisfaction scores on both sides. We hold monthly AI reviews at the executive level. We track AI-driven productivity against tangible targets, every department, every quarter. We don't talk AI, we live it, and the lesson we keep learning, AI works when leadership owns it, not when you delegate it to IT, not when you run a proof of concept and wait, when you commit, measure, and iterate.